Okay, we're recording.
Awesome. Hello and good afternoon. My name is Renato Almeida Gonzalez, and I'm the Salt Lake City Public Art Program Manager. I'm joined today with my colleague, Amy Childress. She's our Public Art Program Coordinator. And today we are hosting a virtual info session for our Fairmont Park and McClelland Shared Street request for qualifications. This is an opportunity from the Salt Lake City Public Art Program. Before we begin, I just want to go over a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions throughout the course of this presentation, and you may use the comment or the Q&A function within Zoom. So just send them over and then we'll be able to answer them at the very end. A recording of this info session and the slides covered today will be published on our website afterwards, and then as well as a document that will have all the questions from today, and we updated with questions that we received from potential applicants from the Salt Lake City Public Art that reach out to the Salt Lake City Public Art Program regarding this opportunity. Today is Monday, November 17th, and it is noon Salt Lake City time. So let's begin. Okay. Here we go. This call for artists is open to all professional artists or artist-led teams currently residing in the state of Utah, regardless of race, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, national origin, age, marital status, political opinion or affiliation, or mental and physical disability. For this call for artists, we accept applications from artist-led teams. However, each team must be led by a person that has a demonstrated history of professional activity as an artist, and teams may not substitute team members after submission unless the Salt Lake City Public Art Program consents to any proposed substitution. If you're an artist and you are applying as a team, you may not apply as an artist individually, and vice versa. So keep in mind, one application, one person for this call for artists. Just a quick introduction about this very exciting opportunity, the Fairmont Park and McClelland Shared Street. We are seeking a public art installation that will together unify these two sites. They're adjacent to one another, and they're located in the heart of Sugar House. Fairmont Park is currently undergoing a variety of changes to it, thanks to some funding received from the GEO bond as well as a CIP, and McClelland Shared Street, which is perpendicular to Fairmont Park. It received a series of improvements a few years ago that strengthened its sense of connection and made it into a more pedestrian-friendly and bicycle-friendly space. This public art opportunity seeks to commission a series of site-specific artworks that unify these two distinct yet connected sites. The selected artist or team will create an artwork that responds to Sugar House's unique character, its lively mix of park and street life, and enhances the sense of arrival, belonging, and identity for residents and visitors alike. Before I dive into the specifics of this project, I wanted to go over a little bit of what we want to do. We are collaborating with Salt Lake City Public Lands and Salt Lake City Transportation, and like I said, commissioning a multi-site public artwork for these two sites. This commission is unique because we are aiming to unite two different and distinct sites through one artwork. So artwork elements that will be created by an artist or team will be able to give us a sense of connection, give us a sense of place, identity, of movement throughout these two spaces. Fairmont Park, which is the southern end, of this project location, is a key recreational anchor for the community, and it's currently undergoing upgrades that enhance safety, play spaces, and accessibility. I will say Fairmont Park is getting a major overhaul. It will change as we know it today, and these changes are very, very exciting. McClelland Shared Street has already changed, so you can see and you can visit the site and see how it has changed. In 2023, Salt Lake City completed a transformation of it into a low-speed pedestrian and bike-friendly corridor with landscaping, dining areas, and gathering spaces. This is just a quick map that I wanted to show you, as well as three concept designs that are part of this public art opportunity. McClelland Shared Street is this one, and Sugarmont, and it meets with Sugarmont and the S-Line station over here. And we are looking for an artwork. It doesn't necessarily have to be there, but I wanted to highlight this location as an ideal or a sense of arrival of the actual physical connection between these two spaces. Over on the left, we have 3 concept designs for Fairmont Park. The team is currently finalizing 1 concept design. And if you're selected for this public art opportunity, you as a commissioned artist will be integrated into the overall landscape architecture and redesign team that will reimagine or is reimagining Fairmont Park. And McClelland Church Street, you will work independently. A little bit about the project scope that I wanted to go over regarding Fairmont Park. Like I said before, we're currently finalizing the conceptual design phase that is going to culminate into one preferred direction for this park. We are going to be working towards finalizing construction documents in the coming, not finalizing, beginning the planning of that for full construction documents, I should say. If you are selected as an artist for this public art opportunity, you will be able to reimagine and be a key component or a key part of this team that's reimagining Fairmont Park. And you will be able to integrate your designs and concepts into the overall construction for it. Artwork elements will be fully integrated into final construction drawings, including foundations, footings, and any structural components. This should alleviate some of the budgetary concerns or feasibility concerns regarding to the installation at Fairmont Park. And the installation of the artwork at Fairmont Park will be concurrent with the park's reconstruction to ensure seamless integration with all of its site improvements. The Fairmont Park artwork will serve as the anchor or culminating element for both sites. So we are looking for either an iconic or significant piece or a series of pieces that will culminate the road that we were describing earlier that may begin in 21st South, go down to Sugarmont on McClelland Church Street, and continue on to Fairmont Park. The artwork may take a variety of forms and mediums, but it should be thoughtfully scaled to the site's openness and community presence. These are some shots of Fairmont Park right now. The ones at the top focus in that area where both McClelland Church Street and Fairmont Park meet. Here is over on the top right image, you'll see the S-Line station where it ends. The S-Line station will actually start continuing. So very, very exciting things are happening for the site. Okay, let's go to the next slide. McClelland Church Street. So here are some images of McClelland Church Street. This is a really exciting project and a really exciting opportunity for an artist. At the very top, you'll see the intersection of McClelland Church Street with 21st South, which is one of the busiest thoroughfares here in Salt Lake City. Here's a mid-block intersection on McClelland Church Street. And here at the very bottom is where it meets with Sugarmont Avenue and Fairmont Park begins. Construction for this McClelland Church Street was completed in 2023, and it transformed the corridor into a people-centered, low-speed environment. The artwork for this site may be installed in advance of the Fair Park component and should consist of a series of connected site-responsive artworks along the corridor. These pieces should invite curiosity, movement, and discovery while maintaining a visual and conceptual relationship to the Fairmont anchor piece. So we're thinking of both sites as one. The artwork, even though it will have multiple components on both sides, it will be one cohesive story. One thing I want to add is the element of storytelling that could happen as part of this reconstruction, given that there will be multiple artwork elements dispersed all throughout. It really invites an interesting history and an interesting dynamic where an artist could have a conversation with the site and embed artwork that will be spread throughout. The selected artist, my dog may bark, sorry. The selected artist or team will be responsible for all site preparations, coordinations, and installation of their artwork on McClelland Church Street. This is different from Fairmont Park Street. In Fairmont Park Street, you will have some input and certain things like footings, foundations, lighting, if it may require it. We can explore its full integration. So some of those responsibilities won't fall on the artist. With the McClelland Church Street portion, everything associated with the artwork installation will be the responsibility of the commissioned artist. Collectively, this artworks across both sites should form a cohesive narrative and experience, linking park and street and reinforcing a sense of place and connection throughout Sugar House. Here are some, this is a map that I wanted, not a map, sorry, a map and some images that I wanted to cover. Along the renovations or improvement made on McClelland Shirt Street, here on the right, once we post these images to our website, as you'll see, it's a live link. So you'll be able to go to the archived site by Salt Lake City Transportation where they go over the different changes that they did. Ignore where it says artistic painting for now, because this is proposed artistic painting on the pavement that could be part of this project, but we're not focusing on that for the purposes of this project in certain elements along McClelland Shirt Street. I do want to focus on all of these different areas, which are like landscaping bulb outs that were created as part of those traffic calming measures, which are the sites that we envision where the artwork will be located. These are located all throughout the space. If you're selected as a finalist, we'll do a visit and a site visit with your fellow finalists and some of my colleagues in transportation and public lands, where we will walk the space and where you will be able to see the areas that we're envisioning that could be activated or could be improved through a public art installation. The artwork goals, so this is another image where both McClelland Shirt Street and Fairmont Park begin. That's where they meet. The goals for this is to create a site-specific artwork, a series of artworks that can celebrate Sugar House through the connection between Fairmont Park and McClelland Shirt Street. We want to activate and put artwork in both of these spaces in meaningful ways that enhance the visitor experience and strengthen Sugar House's sense of place. We want to reflect the character, identity, and future vision of the Sugar House neighborhood as a vibrant, accessible, and connected community, and serve as a unifying thread between park and street, linking recreation, movement, and gathering through art. All right, let's go to the next slide. Our design priorities. There are several. Once again, if you're selected as a finalist, I will go over this portion in a future set of slides. You'll have an opportunity to chat with us and discuss how you should be able to frame your proposal. But we want to encourage interaction, play, storytelling, fostering engagement for visitors of all ages and abilities. We want to integrate seamlessly with the landscape inside features, pathways, plazas, gathering spaces, offer multiple points of engagement across the site, and invite exploration or connection. We aim to emphasize sustainability, durability, and accessibility in all materials and fabrication methods. And artists are encouraged to explore. If selected as a finalist, you will be tasked with creating a proposal for this site, landscape integrated artworks, interactive or play-oriented elements, artworks embedded within existing park and street features, and artworks that tell a story or have a narrative. The following are the artwork goals as defined for this call for artists. The Salt Lake Art Design Board seeks to commission a site-specific artwork that meets some or all of the following goals. Enhances placemaking and strengthens the identity and cohesion of the Sugar House neighborhood, creating a clear connection between Fairmont Park and McClelland Shirt Street. Creates welcoming, inclusive, and accessible experiences for people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds. Encourages engagement, interaction, and exploration, including opportunities for play, discovery, and contemplation. Integrates thoughtfully with the landscape and existing or planned park and street features such as pathways, courts, plazas, or other public infrastructure. Supports a distributed approach with artwork extending along multiple sections of McClelland Shirt Street and incorporating a focal point within Fairmont Park. And this focal point, as I said before, could be composed of one piece or a variety of pieces. Reflects and celebrates the natural environment and sustainable practices, complementing the park's greenery, trails, and open spaces. Considers long-term durability, maintenance, and safety, complying with ADA requirements, city regulations, and all other applicable laws and standards. And finally, provides a cohesive vision that unifies both Fairmont Park and McClelland Shirt Street, balancing the distinct character of each site while creating a meaningful connected experience. The budget for this Utah-only request for qualifications is possible through our Percent for Art program, as well as additional funding from our colleagues in Salt Lake City Transportation, which we're incredibly grateful for. The total budget for both sites, and that includes installation, fabrication, artist fee, etc., it is $230,000. I want to say that 90,000 of those dollars is dedicated exclusively to McClelland Shirt Street, excuse me. If selected as a finalist, proposals should be able to demonstrate this ideal allocation for their budget. So what does this mean? That McClelland Shirt Street has to have at least $90,000 of investment in public art for that site. That includes material fabrication, artist fee, installation costs, etc., up to $90,000. It could be more, but the way we're envisioning it, and this could change depending on an artist's vision for the site. This could mean that we have what's left of that budget of the 230,000 towards Fairmont Park. Doesn't have to be that way, but keep in mind that at least $90,000 has to be allocated for the development and installation of an artwork on McClelland Shirt Street. The commission is inclusive of your fees, materials, supplies, fabrication and labor, insurance, artwork transportation, shipping, if it's depending on where it's fabricated, installation of the artwork on site, travel expenses. If you live outside of the Salt Lake City metro area and you need to install your artwork while in Salt Lake City, all travel expenses per diem are inclusive of this artwork. And of course, artwork engineering of its several components. Some additional considerations that we want to highlight is that you should plan for a contingency of at least 10% of the total project commission. The Public Art Commission, this one is unique because in its entirety, it's not tied to a single larger city project, but we're connected to different sites. So keep in mind that for Fairmont Park, your concepts and ideas and artwork foundation, etc., those will be integrated into the site's final construction documents. Structural components such as footings or foundations may be included within the construction scope, and there's a possibility, depending on their complexity, that they may not affect your final budget. However, this is the opposite for McClelland Shirt Street. Construction for that site is already complete. So you, as selected artist or team, will be responsible for all site preparations, maintenance, all site preparations, permitting and installation, including any infrastructure modifications required for the integration of the artwork in these multiple sites. Let's go next. All right. Salt Lake City has insurance requirements, so please take a look at them. You won't need to have insurance for the finalist proposal stage, but you will be required to have insurance by the time we go into a contract if your artwork is selected for commission. The qualifications. These are the qualifications that the Salt Lake Art Design Board will look in consultation with project stakeholders, and they will choose up to 4 different finalists for proposal development. And that selection of an artist is subject to it's subject but not limited by the following qualifications. Your professional experience as an artist represents a developed and successful body of site-specific public art projects of a similar scope and scale as demonstrated by visual documentation. Your ability to understand sense of place and design in a context-sensitive manner as demonstrated by visual documentation. Artist has created, so you have created works of permanent nature that do not require excessive maintenance or repair costs. Your demonstrated ability to conceptually and practically respond to site-specific conditions and project requirements, including integrating designated project investments and collaborating with multiple stakeholders to create a cohesive artwork across both sites. What this means is you can work with a team, and you have, if you can demonstrate and through your portfolio images that you submit, or in your letter, how you work in a project that's similar to this, more to you. You demonstrate a strong conceptual or material sensitivity, inviting curiosity, reflection, and delight through visual clarity and presence. And your process as an artist reflects thoughtful engagement with ideas, places, communities, communicating perspective or meaning that feels relevant and deeply considered. The finalist proposal process, as I said, there is, if you submit your qualifications and you're subsequently selected by the Salt Lake Art Design Board as a finalist, then you'll be invited and to create a site-specific proposal for this site. If that happens, we'll let you know in mid-January. I think, yeah, early January, you will know if you're selected. We'll give you a call. Then we invite you to a site visit. We are envisioning a multi-part meeting where we meet in a desk, and then you'll be able to hear and learn more from our colleagues conducting renovations to Fairmont Park, colleagues that have completed renovations to McClelland Church Street, as well as us, the Public Art Program, where we will tell you all you need to know in order to create a successful proposal. Continued site visits are encouraged. That's why we kept this call for artists local. It should be a site that's relatively easy to access and relatively easy to take inspiration from. The park hasn't been closed, it's open. So you can imagine, as you learn more, how it will change. And you may also conduct additional community outreach if desired. We have done partial community engagement, and we did so through our colleagues in Fairmont, in public lands for Fairmont Park. This gave us an idea of how people were thinking about the artwork, and all of that input informed the call for artists and is informing the proposal development. However, your practice as an artist may involve conducting community engagement in a variety of ways, and we invite you to do so if that's something you desire. You'll be asked to create a site-specific conceptual proposal that includes scale designs, renderings, or models, a written statement outlining your intent, materials, fabrication, installation, schedule, and budget, a description of how the artwork incorporates both project areas as defined in the request for qualifications, including a clear demonstration of how you are allocating the $90,000 that are a transportation CAP investment towards the public artwork on the McClelland Church Street portion of the project. And like I said before, an artist may begin installation and coordination of the McClelland Church Street project as soon as they're under contract. You will have a few months to develop this site-specific proposal, and it will be due late March to be presented to the Solid Art Design Board and project partners in early April. Each finalist will receive a $2,300 stipend for developing their proposals, and this is inclusive of artwork development, research, meetings, and community engagement if you conduct additional engagement, renderings, etc. Your proposal materials will be due to us a week before that April 1st meeting to the Art Design Board on Wednesday, March 25th. And your stipend, if awarded the commission, will be deducted from the total commission budget. The project schedule. Apply. We need your applications by Tuesday, December 9th of this year by 11:59. No late applications will be accepted, and there is no exceptions. If you're selected, 3 or 4 finalists will be selected, and you'll be notified in early January of this. There will be a site visit and a required finalist meeting in mid-January, and you will have essentially all winter to develop your proposal. Not all winter, but most of the winter to develop your proposal. Your presentation to the Art Design Board will be on Wednesday, April 1st. Then it goes to the mayor, who has the ultimate, by ordinance, can approve or deny a commission. It goes to the mayor for recommendation by the Art Design Board in April, May, and you will be doing artist contracting in the early summer. That means that as soon as you're under contract, you'll be working to integrate your artwork on McClelland Church Street independently of the ongoing design work that we'll be doing for McClelland Church Street, with an anticipated completion and ribbon cutting by the summer of 2027. However, as I said before, the McClelland Church Street portion or artwork elements may be done in advance of that. A couple of things I wanted to talk about: the artist agreements and the project assumptions. If you're selected for this commission, you will enter into 2 agreements. The first agreement will be an artwork proposal development agreement that can include community engagement, and that's a simple letter of agreement outlining your designation as a finalist and requesting your proposal to be done and given to the city. The second will be an official city contract where insurance and other requirements may be needed. And this is for artwork fabrication, installation, community engagement, if done, and design work that you do with the Fairmont Park designers. The selected artisan team must carry general liability and auto insurance in order to, and workers' comp, either workers' comp or waiver. in order to enter into an agreement. Salt Lake City retains the right to remove or relocate the artwork as it may be deemed necessary in the future. The selected artist will retain copyright of their work, but will grant Salt Lake City a right to reproduction, and that is for educational and promotional purposes of our program and your artwork. In the performance of this project with Salt Lake City, you should comply with all applicable Salt Lake City requirements, laws, codes, ordinances, and regulations. And you must submit engineering drawings for approval that are stamped by a Utah licensed engineer, stamped and signed by a Utah licensed engineer in order for you to start your fabrication. We have linked a sample of an artist commission work agreement here, but also you're more than welcome to consult, if awarded the commission, to consult with your own counsel and propose changes or thoughts during the contracting process. Now, how do you apply? We use Call for Entry Cafe to manage our applications, and it should be easy for artists because you can submit to multiple other projects that are happening that are not by our program. It's easy for us to do the qualification assessment process. There is no application fee, and this is the only way in which you can apply for this call for artists, so do so. Give yourself ample time. We are not, Cafe is a service that we contract for this project, but we do not manage it. So give yourself ample time for you to get familiarized with the site, and also to submit questions. You're welcome to submit questions to us about the nature of the project, if you have any other questions about applying. However, we're not able to answer questions about difficulties uploading images or something related to the Cafe software. So keep this in mind and give yourself time to apply. Any materials not specifically requested as part of this application or exceeding the maximum page length or format requirements will not be considered or reviewed by the Salt Lake Art Design Board and may result in disqualifications. Notifications of disqualifications are not made. I'm going to say this in another slide, but I want to say it now. This is not an opportunity for you to submit your direct ideas about an artwork. You could talk about it. You could talk about your ideas about the site, but we're not asking for proposals. Do not submit a proposal at this stage. Submission requirements. We will review all completed applications received by 11:59 Salt Lake City time on Tuesday, December 9th. And your full name and contact info must appear on all submitted materials. If you're applying as a team, you should clearly denote who is the team leader who will be in contact with if awarded, if selected as a finalist. And here's some help that you should be able to use if you need help applying through the Cafe website. Once again, a reminder that we are not asking for a proposal for our new commission at this time. All we're asking to see is your qualifications as an artist and a letter of intent expressing how you will approach the site, what ideas you have, how this inspires you, and also be able to talk about your relevant experience as it relates to this public art commission. The application materials, once again, one application per artist or artist-led team, and pay attention to the maximums, and minimums and other format requirements before submitting. We request a letter of interest that's no more than 1 page or 500 words. We strongly advise, and this is key, keep your narrative within the letter relevant and aim to connect to the project goals, our scope, where we're looking in describing your body of work or your general ideas of what you will do. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but this is, we want to make sure that what we're reading and how we view your images, which I will talk about in a minute, is relevant to this project. If applicable, please provide specific examples of your previous experience for projects of similar site, scope, themes, and scale. Your resume, please 2 pages max per artist, not to exceed 3 pages. An artist must submit 1 resume per artist, 2 pages max, and combine into a single PDF. Keep your resume current, brief, and relevant. Try to avoid fancy fonts, colors, and pictures. Just make sure that it's easy to read and understand. And we'll ask you to include 2 professional references as an artist that you may have. We will only reach out to these references if you are selected as a finalist. We will conduct those interviews or those reference checks if you're selected. Now, the most important part, images of your work, your portfolio, is the primary way in which we will assess your work. we ask you to please make sure that the portfolio images that you submit are relevant to this project. If you've done something that is of similar scope, scale, and what we're looking for, submit those images over others that may not have as much of a relevance. We ask for a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 10 and up to 2 videos. Make sure that these images are of good quality, straightforward, and are just of the artwork itself. Think of it. If we've never seen your artwork and we have a minute to view all your 10 images, how should we be viewing them? What do you want to say? And how is the artwork in itself being reflected? We ask you to fill in the metadata within Cafe with the title, year, medium, dimensions, location, budget, and a brief description of the artwork. Do not submit multiple images of different works in that one image, one artwork. Previous proposals, if you were selected previously as a finalist for another public art opportunity and you develop of similar scope and scale and you developed a site-specific proposal that was ultimately not selected, this is a good opportunity for you to use that proposal, but make sure that it's no more than 3 of the 10 images. We want to see your potential here. We want to see if selected by the board as a finalist, if you'll be able to carry out this commission. Images are the primary way in which the quality of the work is judged, so keep that in mind. Excuse me. Assistance. All questions regarding this request for qualification may only be done to our public art program website, myself or my colleague Amy. Give yourself time and please do not reach out to our design board members, as that may result in disqualification. Here is some information if you don't have access to Wi-Fi or internet. All of our Salt Lake City Public Library branches offer free computer and Wi-Fi access. If you require further resources or accommodations to complete your application materials, this could be translation, interpretation services, or others, please email us for assistance and give yourself a couple of days too, in order for us to respond quickly and best. Towards the end of the RFQ, you will find a lot of resources that we included as part of this. This is for you to be able to get a better grasp of the site and have a little bit more of an understanding of what we're trying to do and how our colleagues in other city departments are approaching this project. You will find, in addition to these, there's many more, but I wanted to highlight 3 here. This is the Fairmont Park Improvement Project page. So this is updated directly by our colleagues in Public Lands, outlining the design and reimagination effort they're doing on McClelland. Here is the first round of engagement. It includes some questions related to public art. If you're selected as a finalist, we will go over this in detail, but this should give you an understanding of how the community is imagining the space. And we asked some questions related to public art that informed this call for artists. Lastly, the McClelland Shared Street project page. This is archived content since the project was finished in 2023, but it should give you a very good understanding and idea of what we did as a city in order to reimagine this important corridor, which is the McClelland Shared Street. Like I said, many others, please look at the last pages 8 and 9 of the full RFQ PDF to see those. Once again, questions, give yourself time. We're here to help. Here's listed both our public art program website email, and my personal email, should you have any other questions and want to reach out. And some useful links here. Here's the application page to our public art website. Here is the PDF. If you click on it, this is the full request for qualifications, which is linked to the cafe, which is here, as well as site images. Tons of really good site images. And also we'll be doing a site visit. So this is an opportunity for you to see those. And with that, I wanna stop sharing and open it up for questions you may have.
Okay. So in the Q&A, the first question we have is just to clarify, this is asking for a single piece of art or multiple location art. Sorry, just missed what Renato spoke about it.
Yeah, so this is for, and it looks like it was answered, but this is not for a single piece of art, it's multiple components along McClelland Shared Street and Fairmont Park.
And then the second question, are there any restrictions on max height of any component of the art piece?
Those questions will be better answered once we're in the finalist proposal stage. We'll have to abide by the code regulations and stuff, and it will also be budget dependent.
And then another question, did I hear correctly that the S-Line train line will be extending further east?
Correct. And that has nothing to do with this project. It will be concurrent and there will be movement, but we're not collaborating with them on any form of public art project outside of them being a community stakeholder as part of that community.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Let's give it a couple more minutes and then we can go. Okay, there is someone with a question.
Any more info on projects inside the Fairmont Park?
Projects inside of the Fairmont Park. I don't know if I understand the question. However, I should say that Fairmont Park is currently, I show you 3 conceptual designs. They have moved into a final conceptual design for it. We will have more. If you're selected as a finalist, you will be able to see it and fully collaborate on that. Going on right now. I don't know if I understand that question regarding the project. So the Fairmont Park, I invite you to visit that project page that we shared with the improvement sites. There is a lot of things and happening. There will be changes happening throughout the entire site. However, I don't know if this question is related to programmatic efforts that are being done not just by public lands, via others, but Fairmont Park will receive a significant, it will be significantly changed.
Okay, I think that's all.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much to all of you for
Wait.
joining. Oh, is there another one?
Oh, there's one more.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to similar scope and scale, does an artist's team necessarily need budgets equal or great in their past, or would a demonstration of progressive increases of budget, scope, and scale be adequate?
I think both are correct. We will want to see if you have experience doing something like this. And it could be both in terms of a budget, but also in terms of integrating and united 2 different sites through an artwork. It could also mean that you have been part of a larger landscape architecture team that's renovating a site or a place, and how your artwork concepts were integrated into that. So I think it's a mixture. It could be a mixture of both. And I don't think, yeah, there were none in the chat. Okay. Once again, thank you all very much for joining us today. There is our emails that were seen here. If you have any other questions, just let us know. And we look forward to reviewing your qualifications. Thank you so much and have a good day.